Hey everyone, this is Saito, and something huge has been happening with Venti's VA, who just announced that she received threatening messages from SAG-AFTRA, and this led to a series of controversies regarding VA, which I just want to tell you about. So let's get right into it, but before that, please consider to subscribe because once we reach 500 subs, I will make a special giveaway, where I'll be giving out just a few welcome ones, and now let's get to the video. So we are getting to the version 5.6, which looks actually very hyped up from the players, and nobody will be surprised when you realize that Venti will not be voiced even in this version. However, the reasons are different than usual, but I just want to give you a brief recap. So SAG-AFTRA, I used to even be a big supporter of it, and it's a union where it just right now is covering the rights of only video games voice actors from the dangers of AI just taking over and basically just replacing voices with AI without any sort of legal protection. And first of all, just to remind you that this has been going on for I think almost half a year, I think even more right now. It's been so much since it started and it is still going on, and I think that this is actually damaging games like Genshin Impact. I really do believe so. But the thing is that while the idea is very nice, the application of it is absolutely abhorrent, and the reason is very simple. First of all, Genshin Impact or any MiHoYo game are not just regarded. SAG-AFTRA should not cover MiHoYo games because they are outside of things that the union is treating. They are not considered the union games, so they should not even be doing a strike based on them because they are outside of their domain. They are just doing something completely different. Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact or whatever, they are not covered by the SAG-AFTRA, so already this is just flawed. But I believe that because they're very important games and because there are many social interactions behind them, just see how big their fandoms are, the union is basically just doing it anyway just to prove how strong they can be, because this is by far one of the games that is just attracting the most people pro SAG-AFTRA, including me. At first I didn't know all of this, I was as stunned as you were. I made videos just being completely defending these voice actors tooth and nails, and I kind of still am. I'm still very worried on the dangers of AI, but they're doing a terrible job at protecting it, and you can see this in a myriad of ways. So first of all, Genshin Impact is completely just free right now. It should be free, because I made a video where they just said that they will simply change studio. They used to work with Formosa Interactive, which is a terrible studio. They're famous for doing shit like not paying Paimon's VA for 6 months and also simply just not even signing a contract which is against AI. So they ended up just cutting ties with them and working with the studio where also Arc Knights and Wuthering Waves work with. And that already is very nice. This is a great thing because basically now VAs should work very nicely, because that studio just signed a contract which is against AI, so now they should have no problems. But now where is the part where Venti's VA comes in? The problem is that SAG-AFTRA is still holding in a chokehold many VAs, including for some reason Venti's VA, even though she's covering a game that is A, non-union, and B, not even in the same studio as Formosa anymore, and instead working in a studio that is against AI, with the sole reason that they are very aggressive with this. I guess that while SAG-AFTRA is in strike, then if you just try to work, you're fucked because you're a member of the union, so they're just gonna get you out of there. They're just gonna, I guess, remove you from the union, which is a big no-no. And Venti's VA said that they have been sending her a lot of threatening messages. Now, I'm not a member of the union, nor I work there, but it doesn't seem like a normal thing to do, to just threaten your own members. I feel like they're acting like a dictatorship on these voice actors, for not many reasons, because they're not even in the right. Many games, including for example Genshin, have just moved to studios where they're just protected by AI, and even then the only thing that SAG-AFTRA is doing is that they're just basically still asking for more, which I suppose in the bigger picture is a good thing, but not when you're basically forcing hundreds of members in not doing anything, because at the end of the day they're the ones without a paycheck at the end of the month. They still need to live and get some money. You can't just not make them have any money simply because you're still trying to portray a message that still hasn't gotten in more than 6 months, because it's been months and versions since we still don't have any VA in, for example, Genshin. That is just fucked up. Second thing that I want to connect with this subject is that I believe that this SAG-AFTRA and some VAs are just using the strike as an excuse to behave incorrectly. A big example I can think of, and I also made a video about him, is Lycon's VA from Zenless Zone Zero. That guy worked terribly, just stopped just voice acting all of a sudden, because he was busy on his own show and whatever, and the moment that he got caught and recast, he was pissed, saying that it was because of AI and because of SAG-AFTRA, even though he wasn't even a member of SAG-AFTRA. So he was the most easy example to just see where a guy is just lying in order to get some sympathy. But in general, I believe that SAG-AFTRA is just, at the end of the day, being very greedy with its objectives, and they're just riding the momentum that they had at the start of it, because people didn't know anything. At first, people just thought that AI was very bad, which it still is, and that SAG-AFTRA was the paladin that was going to go against big companies. But it's not how it is. At the end of the day, they are the ones who are just forcing many VAs to not to work and threatening them, and this led to, for example, another fan favorite character not being voiced, alongside tons of other characters. And the thing is, I don't even know where the solution will be, because I do understand that you can't just leave the union if you're a voice actor, because you can't just do that. You can't just say fuck the union and go out of it. Even if it's not fair, it's not the best decision in the long run. So you're basically always forced into this stalemate where you just even don't know what to do. But I really do think that SAG-AFTRA is just being disgustingly greedy and basically killing its own members just to keep portraying a message that they most likely won't get in months and months, just to, I don't even know where their objective is, because they probably already know that they won't achieve a gigantic result, especially if they're basically starving their own VAs. But this really is disgusting, not gonna lie. If you want my own opinion, just go get the language in Japanese or Chinese or whatever. Stop playing the English tab unless you only want to hear Paimon for like the next 5 versions. And yeah, that's really it, I guess. This is terrible. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!